Well, hello again, all my fluid art friends. It's Doris at DF Designs. I am talking in this video today because I may have some new people watching. The only thing I didn't do on camera is mix my resin, which is Stone Coat Countertops Craft Coat. Doesn't have as long a working time. Whoops, broken. I got a broken rim on this. So I'm just pouring in some colors, or some resin into cups for colors. I'm going to be using some purples, a fuchsia, and I'm going to do, I'll have to look at the name in a minute to show you the color that I'm using for the background. And I'm thinking that I'm going to do it as a ribbon pour. And then I might do either some swiping or some torch and tilt on it, because it's a wooden board that I primed, so it should have enough to withstand being torched and tilted. Okay, that's enough for the background, so let me get the rest of this into another cup. I keep my cups in these little muffin tins because, believe me, I can be clumsy when I'm working, and this way they don't fall over, which is fine with me. You don't want your cup of resin to fall over. You might not have a color done at that point, and you may not, and it's a waste of resin. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the background. The color that I'm using is called Berry Pink. It is a mixed color that I get. It's an oil-based enamel, and I get it from a big box home improvement store called Menards. And I don't know if you have a Menards near you, because they don't have Menards all over the United States. But if you look around, I'm sure you can find another store. I can tell you right now, Home Depot and Lowe's don't carry the mixed Rustoleum. Okay, this may look funny, but what you want to do is you want to stir it, okay? And the reason I say that is because it says you're not supposed to shake it. So I am stirring it to mix it. And then I'm going to put some in my cup. You don't want to put too much, because if you mix it and it doesn't look like there's enough, you can always add more, but you can't take color out. That's a big problem. Okay, let me put that off to the side. Let me mix it. You want to mix it really, really good so it's in all of the resin, even the resin that's down at the bottom. It's an oil-based enamel, so it's going to look a little shiny. Well, resin looks shiny anyway. Okay, this is going to be my base color. Now, I am using a purple, a fuchsia, I'm using a Flamingo pink, and I'm using a silver. Now, this is a paste. This is called, let me turn it around. This is called Lavendar Luster, and you don't need a whole lot in there, but you want to mix it because these pastes in the cups have settled, so you want to mix it up. Okay, there's my Lavendar Luster. Okay, now I'm going to do my fuchsia. If you ever have a paste and it's like a little hard or to mix, or it's just, like separated, if you put the lid back on really super tight and you put it in a bowl and you put the water right up to the bottom of the lid, you don't want to go past that. You give it a bath of warm water, you take it out, You dry it off really good so you don't get any water in there. And then you should be able to open it, and it should be good to go. Now, that was Just Resin's Fuschia. This one is Just Resin's aluminum. Oh, I may have needed, I don't know if, no, this one's, okay. It just needs to be mixed. I was going to do gold with this, but I didn't think gold would go with these colors, so I went with silver. Now, basically, I'm going to use these three colors to do a ribbon pour. And this one right here is Color Obsessions Flamingo Pink. It's a tint, which means it's a transparent, okay? And it'll always be a transparent, no matter, excuse me, how much or how little you put in there. Come on, come out. So, I got about 1.5 ounces in there. Come on. This bulb is a little bit hard to push for me, or for me to get any up in there. It's like a hard rubber, and I don't have strength in my hands. Okay, that looks like it's enough. Okay, now let me start mixing up the colors. Now this one, I told you, it's going to be transparent, and that's why it's going to go last on top of the other stuff. So you can still see the stick through it. But you're going to be, that means you're going to be able to see all the other colors through it too. Okay. Now with the ones that were paste, I always scrape off the excess paste off my stick first. So that way, as you're mixing it, you get it all incorporated. You don't get a big glob of it on your, that stays on your stick. Now this only has a 30-minute working time, and I mixed it before I started, so I've got a rush. Okay. Now here is my purple, well, lavender luster. And last but not least, my aluminum, which is a really, really bright silver. So shiny. I probably will have enough left to do coasters, but that's what the coasters are for. When you have leftover resin, you put it onto some 4x4 tiles, and you make coasters. And if you ever do a craft show, bring all those coasters with you and sell them for $5 a piece, and you probably will make your event fee back in just selling coasters. Okay, I got a rag off to the side here so I can wipe my fingers off. Let me give this one more mix. This is my base coat, which is called Berry Pink by Rustoleum. I didn't think I was going to use it all. Now, the first thing I like to do, almost dropped my heat gun, is I like to warm it up just a little bit. I never point my gun directly at the piece when I first turn it on. I turn it on for 5 seconds and blow it away out into the room to get rid of any dust that collected up in there. because you do not want those little dust bunnies, or dust boogers is what I call them, in your piece. You just want to go over it and heat it up some. Okay. Now I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to push the resin up to the edge and coat the whole thing. The reason I like using my fingers is because not only can I see what needs to be covered, but I also can feel it, because you can feel it when you get to a dry spot. Now, I didn't paint the sides pink, so I'm hoping that I will get some of it over the edge. Okay, and see, I got pink all over my fingers, but that's what the alcohol rag is for. Now, I'm going to get a little cup, and I'm going to... Nope, that's the see-through one. I don't want that one in there. Okay, this is the opaque one. Okay, so I'm going to do some ribbon pours. So I'm going to put this in. I always give it one more stir just before I pour, just because so I can make sure nothing's separated. I'm going to put some silver in. Then I'm going to put the lavender luster, and I'm going to do one more layer of each. You don't want to let it set for too long, because resin doesn't act like acrylics, especially even though this is like an acrylic technique. It mixes more than the paints do. It doesn't stay separate. So I try not to take too long. Okay. Last but not least, my lavender luster. Okay. Now I'm going to do a ribbon pour. I see more silver than anything. Nothing I can do about that. I do see some of the purple coming out. Ah, there's some of the fuchsia. Okay, now, well, it looks like I got all purple silver up here, then all silver, then fuchsia. Didn't pour it in that way, but oh well. Now I'm going to go over it just to get rid of some of the air bubbles. Okay, now I'm going to do a couple of thin lines, and then I think I'm going to, right on top of the silver and purple, or right on top of all of it, so you can see how you can see the fuchsia, I mean the flamingo pink really well. Okay, heat it up one more time, and then I'm going to do some swiping. You want to heat up not only the resin you're swiping, but the resin you're swiping over. So that way it's liquid enough. Trying to reach my papers, which are way over there. Okay. Okay, basically, this is freezer paper. It's got a shiny side, or butcher paper, if you want to call it that, and a dull side. I like to make the shiny side touch the resin. Okay, now you don't want to grab into this. You're trying to swipe over that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go about halfway right here. And you see I'm just pulling up. See, now you want to make sure you don't lose contact. Now you can reuse a paper if you can clean off most of what's on there. Okay, and I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to turn it because it's just easier for me to swipe in the one direction. So and you don't want to do that with your paper. That was a big mistake. Oh well. It'll level out and hopefully cover that up. Okay. Sorry, I'm not talking at the moment. I am concentrating on what I'm doing. I do see where I kind of want to swipe just a little bit right through here, because I want to break this up. Okay, I got a lot of silver in there, so I'm going to see if I can add a couple of lines of the fuchsia. I'm pinching it so I can get a really skinny line. And I'm just basically trying to follow the line of the design. Well, let me see how this blows out. I do see some cells in there. First, I'm going to go over it with the low, just to get rid of air bubbles. Then I'm going to go over it with the high, just to blow out those lines of fuchsia a little bit. Try not to use a lot of heat, because I don't want to have a problem with the cells staying together. You use too much heat and your cells will break down. Now I'm basically going around the side just to rub down everything that dripped over to smooth it out.